guys, welcome to another segment of Esteemable Acts Wednesdays with me, Francine. So today we're going to focus on feedback. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. You know, years ago, I heard Ken Blanchard give this amazing talk that was titled Feedback is the Breakfast of Champions. And if I remember, I think he might have even written a book by that title. Well, I remember when I first heard him talk about that, I thought, it was pretty amazing to talk, but I didn't know if I was really somebody who was willing to let somebody give me feedback. Honestly, I didn't think I was ready for that. And I wasn't at the time. It's just that simple. I'm the person that if you said anything to me, if there was anything that reeked of criticism, I was out of there. But you know what? That's changed a little over the years. And it changed because of two particular incidents that happened in my life. The first was when I kept failing the bar. So my first bar, I'm admitted to New York, California, in the District of Columbia. And New York is my first bar. I'm practicing law for 30 years. I was admitted in 1991, January. And I remember I kept failing the bar. I failed the New York bar twice, and I eventually passed it on the third try. But I passed it because a friend who loved me enough to tell me the truth sat me down one day and said, Francine, the reason you keep failing this exam is because you're not focused on the exam. You're so busy running around doing all these things. And then as an afterthought, you'll study. And I didn't like what he said, but you know what? He was right. And as I started thinking about it, I really knew he was right. So I hunkered down for the next time that the exam came around. And I just focused. I took everything off my plate. I let friends know, this was the priority. And do you know, I passed the exam. I passed the exam, and I was ultimately admitted to the bar of the state of New York because I had a friend who had the courage to give me some feedback. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. The next incident where I actually learned this lesson was when I was trying to get published. It took me 10 years to get my first book published. Actually, it took me 10 years to actually get the book proposal done. And my greatest fear was I would be rejected. And do you know what? I was. And I was because I didn't really know what I was doing. I got rejected not once, not 3 times, not 5 times, not 10 times, not 15 times, but 16 times I was rejected. And not by publishers. I never even got to the publisher. I was rejected by agents. 16 agents back to back said, no way, we don't want it. This, all kinds of things they told me. Bottom line, my book proposal was not up to par. So someone suggested that I hire a book doctor, which is an editor. I hired a book doctor, and oh my God, this guy gave me my book proposal back with so much red ink. I could not believe it. I mean, I was mortified. But you know what? After I got past the pain of the initial rejection, I took his suggestions. And as a result, I got an agent. And that agent got me a 6-figure deal with what was then Random House. Now it's Penguin Random. But with Random House, honestly, I am a believer in feedback. Now, I also know it doesn't always feel good. I don't always like when somebody's judging something I do. But I do know today that constructive feedback is useful. And for me, it's an esteemable act to be willing, to just be willing to accept the feedback. And sometimes the real courageous thing is to be willing to invite it. That's really hard. But being willing to invite the feedback and then take heed to what is said, well, that's an esteemable act. Okay, this week, what I'd like you to do, if you're open, is maybe try with somebody you really like. I wouldn't just go out and pick anybody, but maybe start with something small, and maybe start with someone you really like, and just ask them, is there something that you could do even better than you already do? Put it that way. How could you be even better than you already are? Because the implication is if you put it that way, you're already a pretty cool person, but maybe there's one little thing you could tweak to be even better. And we could all be better, can't we? I think so. All right. Until next week, I'm Francine, and this is Esteemable Acts Wednesdays with me. Have a great week. Bye, guys.